Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be going over my second round game from the Cleveland Go Club ratings tournament. My second round opponent is Garett, and he goes to my local club, and even though he is one dan, when we play in tournament or when we play casual games, we actually play more than 5 stones, even though it's he is a one dan, and it's not me being super strong per se. It's more styles make fights. Something about my style, I don't know, contradicts his play style. So I'm able to give him like 6-7 stones. But in tournament, I have to give him 5 stones. Now, the reason why, even though I'm 5 dan in the tournament and he's 1 dan, I have to give him 5 stones is because I won my first round. If you saw that video, if you haven't seen it, check it out on my channel. It was my last uploaded video. So I won my first round, and he lost his first round. So that kind of pushed me up a little bit and pushed him down a little bit. And thus, we're playing a 5-stone game. But yeah, we usually play 6 or 7 stones. So I was feeling pretty confident about this game. But you'll see that that confidence may have been too much as we go through the game. But yeah, let's get into it. Again, as I said in the last video, my goal, and this should be your goal too in handicap games, is never to kill your opponent. All you're trying to do is separate and squeeze. You're just trying to cut black up and squeeze black down. You should never feel like you have to kill unless you have to. And I shouldn't even say unless you have to, because if you just play well, you shouldn't have to. Because again, the handicap should be correct. If you feel like you have to do that, well, then maybe the handicap is not correct. But yeah, so black pincers, and again, I know Garett. We've played a bunch. I was kind of expecting this kind of move, and it's an okay move. But black's next move is not so much, because I'm able to execute my plan of okay, I will isolate this corner. I will squeeze it down, and it will have no effect on the rest of the board. And that's why being able to squeeze your opponent and seal your opponent in is so powerful. These white stones surrounding black are going to have an effect on the rest of the board, and they do. Whereas these black stones in the corner are just going to be huddled in the corner, not really affecting anything else. So here, black just needs to jump. Black just needs to jump and be patient. What do I mean by that? If white plays anything to help these 2 stones here, let's say something like this, it's going to inadvertently hurt this upper right stone. And notice that's the move that black actually played in the game. So okay, what if white takes that extension, right? Something like this. Well, now black jumps, and again, white's jump here, forcing black to jump out, is inadvertently hurting these 2 stones. So there's not one move white can play to really attack black. So black just needs to be a little patient. And when black jumps here at 0-4, black is making sure black doesn't get sealed into the corner, which again is very important. You do not want to get sealed in. You want to try as best as possible not to get sealed in. And there's no real other moves besides Tenuki that white could play. Right? Now I would Tenuki because again, I'm still executing my plan. I am starting to cut the corner off from this side stone, from this cornerstone. So I would just go elsewhere. Again, there's so many choices, I'm not even going to pick one. But this is still better for black than in the game. So yeah, I get my plan. And by doing this, again, black needs to add a stone in Gote on the second line, and I'm able to extend. Black pulls back. And then my personal go philosophy, I don't even know if philosophy is the right word, but just what I try to do and each of my handicap games is get one early 3-3 invasion. Now, this may be more psychological than anything else, but I kind of know that Garett doesn't really study the AI stuff, the new AI innovations. So I'm able to maybe play this and be able to get a better situation than I normally would. So for example, black does the Hane after the 2 stones, as opposed to just extending up, right? This is what AIs recommend nowadays. Now you can do this if you double Hane, but in the game, black just extends. And so I'm able to, again, I don't want to say get away with, because does this lose black the game? No. So It's still okay, but I feel confident when I'm able to get this position. So I'm getting comfortable here. And if you play something you're comfortable with, that's very good. And so I push once more, the idea being, if black stands up, then I'm going to get my pincer up top, looking to either peep here, right? If black pincers me, I will peep. This really hurts black's shape. Or if black does not even a really good move, but if black does something like this, then I'm able to take away the top. And black's thickness here is very over-concentrated. So that's the whole idea. And the reason why I want to push first is because if I do this one, immediately when black turns, black's actually threatening to kill the corner, hurt the corner, do bad things to the corner. If I go elsewhere, black can, let's see. Yeah, black has some choices. Black can do this one, just descend directly. Actually, not descend directly. Black can cut like this. If white Atari's down, black goes with, like this. And doing something like this, if white comes down with black, now black can kill. Something like this. So white needs to play a different move. White Hanes, black can actually... So black can't come back now, but even if black does this now, this would probably be okay for black. Now black can't Hane now, but black gets very good shape on the outside. But even if black just captures here, white actually can't connect to white's outside. So, yeah, black can still split. But regardless of what black plays, this feels very uncomfortable for white. Yeah. Even if black just simply descends and does this kind of thing. It feels very bad. It feels very bad as white. So I try to always push here. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, because like I always try to push here. But again, black technically has Sente. So black pincers here. And this is probably okay, but if black pincers, black has to be committed to pincering. So I split. Again, I'm got to split. Black jumps. And then black plays this move. So again, this move is okay. But why play all these stones in the center if you just wanted the points? Like black could just descend now. And this is something a lot of players struggle with, is when they start to see their opponent get an area that looks big, they start to panic and think they have to do something about it. But if we slow down, take a deep breath, we'll actually see that, okay, so this Hane is probably Sente, right? Assuming white wants to keep this. And then this kind of move is Sente. Now there's a cut here. Okay, white will probably fix. How big is white's bottom there actually? At most 15? It's not going to get more than the lower left or lower right. So there's actually not that many points there. And if white tries to expand it on a large scale, it's very easy to just pick a spot on the sector line and reduce it. Right? If white just does this, black's already gained with this exchange. So yeah, I'm okay with black pincering here, but if black wants to get rid of white's points, black can't get everything. Black's trying to reduce white and keep the corner. But you're starting to juggle a lot of stuff here. So now I'm starting to cut black. Now the reason why I say D2 is okay as opposed to maybe bad is that it does set up some helper stones for black. So for example, this kind of move now threatens to connect. Even at like this kind of peep still threatens to connect in a monkey jump, right? So assuming I don't make that bad exchange, maybe it's a hard choice, maybe just go here. Black can actually set up some base here pretty easily, like this. So that's why I don't think D2 is a horrible move, but black needs to be able to utilize it correctly, which you'll see black does not in the game. So like here, I think black can just go down. I think use this stone at D2 to your advantage. In the game, black simply jumps, which again is okay, and it does look to poke at N6. But now D2, again, gets you the corner, but it doesn't help these center stones. So again, when you're playing your games, try to keep You want to be efficient, that's true, but you don't want to have too many things you're juggling, because then it just gets hard to manage everything. So attach, the point of this attachment is, of course, what group on this board am I trying to attack? The center. So attach to nearby stones to get some thickness. Not even thickness, just to get in the way of black's connection here. If I wait later, black's going to play differently when I attach here. So attach now, so black has to decide right now how to play. And black hanes, that's, you can't say anything black does here is bad, right? Black could go here, black can hane the other way even. Black can do a lot of things. So anything black does here, it's okay. So I'm not going to say, oh, which one's better or not. Black just needed to add a move, right? Black doesn't want to, shouldn't get paranoid, because then this, of course, this kind of move is very devastating. So treat attachments as sente. So I got my response. So now I jump. So this is what I was looking to do the whole time. And then black pokes at the shape. So now it's a question of, what is white's best way to fix that cut? What is white's best way to fix that cut? Of course, I want to try to fix in the most sente way possible. Because, like, doing this kind of thing, yeah, this peep gets very annoying. It's very annoying because obviously it's a double peep. So even if I fix this way, yeah, black can just jump out. And yeah, black is okay here. There's a cut here, but for now it doesn't do much. Yeah, black's okay here. So that doesn't really work. So in the game, just trying to find a way to do it in sente is I jump here. The point of this move is, let's say black had gone here. I can Atari here, which is sente, and now I've fixed my shape in sente. So yeah, that's the idea with this move. Black Atari's first though, which is smart. Like this. And black comes back, so it's very similar, but now black has played here. But it's still not as good for black compared to if black just simply got to play this kind of move, right? And the key is this is the shape point in white's shape, right? And whatever variation happens, as long as white gets this move, white's shape is okay. Now, if I simply just connect, once again, black jumps out, and I'm not really getting much, right? So in the game, I decided to just extend, saying, okay, black, if you save, well, now I've helped the bottom, so now I can just come out on this side. What I should do is, because black goes here next, this is a very good move. Very good move. So what I should do instead, before I go there, is peep here. Is peep here. And the reason is, if I peep here now, like this, which ways do you think black will fix? Of course black's going to connect here. This stone here has lost value. Why has it lost value? Because I've already helped my bottom stone. When I peep now, I haven't helped my bottom stone. So there's still reason for black to save the stone at N6. There's still reason for black to save the stone. So black now would probably connect. But even now if I fix, black's shape in the center is just much worse. This is much worse. One, black can't even play the move black played in the game, because if this sort of thing happens, yeah, black gets cut off, black gets sealed in. So yeah, so black has to do this one, but now I've connected my shape, or my groups, so now I can just go on the offensive. It makes it a lot harder for black to move in the center now if I get this peep. So that's why I needed to do this peep, and of course I see the peep in the game. I don't know why I like looked at it but didn't like read it. I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. Even better, like what if I played this kind of thing, right? Okay, black, you're gonna save there. Well, now I can extend along the bottom. This would require a lot more reading though. And I didn't want to have a game-ending fight just immediately, because again, I'm not in a rush to win this game in the opening, because there's 200 more moves to play, so I don't need to win in the first, what are we at, 30 or so, 40? So this extends, so black goes there. So yeah, now the peep wouldn't work, so I just poke this way. And this was weird. Black just connects there, but black really needs to connect here. Keep in mind, white just has a string of stones here, right? So even if this sort of thing happens, right, black can still come out. And remember, I'm not fully connected yet, so I can't get too gung-ho about trying to attack this, because I have to come back and fix this. If I have to come back and fix, then all of a sudden, whoops, forgot about my own group, forgot about my own weakness. So if this sort of thing happens, it would probably be there, and then I would have to, maybe I ask with this kind of peep first. Again, before you kind of tell your opponent how you're going to fix something or tell your opponent how you're going to play, you want to ask questions first. So, okay, black, what's important to you? Because again, if I know that, oh, black doesn't care about this stone, then I've already created that, okay, later I can cut here. If I try to cut later, though, after I've fixed, well, now this fixing move here might have been wasted. So you always ask questions before you, again, it's very vague, but before you do something. Always ask questions before you do something. Black connects, and then I'm able to double Hane. And this, I don't think is fully Sente. Like, black's strong enough here that black should just turn here. This is very big. This is very, very big. Again, maybe I Atari and do this. But I'm able to, or black's able to descend next. And again, white's stones here are just going to have a hard time trying to live. And white's bottom gets cut off. So these two stones here are very valuable. In the game, black simply connects, and then I'm able to connect. And then black saves. Yeah, this feels very mistimed. This feels very mistimed. When you connect here, you have to realize something as black. You make no points going here. If you're not unable to attack this group sufficiently, or the bottom group sufficiently, you don't make any points. So it's better to go here, and let's say white does do this, white connects. White doesn't make any points either. So neither side actually wants to connect or cut, depending on which side you're looking from. So yeah, this is too aggressive, because what do? I peep here, and this helps my group while capturing these two. Now my center group, which could have been floating, and my bottom group, which could have been cut off, is now just happy. It's just happy. And sure, black has cut me off on the right side, but now all of a sudden, look, black's group here is not super strong either. So black got too crazy. Black got too crazy here. And then black even pushed there once, and this is Aji Keshi too. So for example, now this move is not Sente. This move is not Sente anymore. And that's important, because if this move isn't Sente, that means black can't fix this cut here, or this connection here, in Sente. Now if black simply does this one though, and let's say white goes elsewhere, now it will be Sente. Because instead of pushing here, which black does in the game, black can push here. If white tries to cut black off, after this, it's just a lot of problems for white. A lot of problems for white. Yeah, directly threatening to capture these. Yeah, so the best way white can refute is try to Atari like this. If you try to Atari like this, this would be very bad, because after all of this, even though white gets this Atari and stuff, now black can cut here, or capture here, or cut here. So this is a disaster for white. So white can try to play this way, and you can see cut black off, but remember this move here is Sente, to connect under, right? So all of a sudden we would get this kind of shape, and yeah, who's going to win the semi? It's looking good for black. Black has a lot of these outside liberties here. So anything here any semi here would most likely favor black. So this would be a disaster for white. So yeah, so that means this move is Sente. I don't even know the best way to fix, maybe go here. And then black can play the kind of move black played in the game like this. Or even now, I would even just fix like this. Because, white jumps here? Okay. I just split. So, yeah. Black's push here, very bad. Very, very bad. And just to show you that there isn't as good of Aji there, like if I go elsewhere, if I do this push, like there's some ways black can do this. If black connects like this, saying, okay, threatening this cut here, oh, well, white can push here. And nothing quite works for black super well. Like this kind of thing. Yeah, black will run out of liberties first. Yeah, somehow white just holds everything here. So, yeah, that's not good. If black tries this way, cut like this, it's similar to the last one, but of course now any semi-eye that works, or that appears, white's going to win now. White has an eye, black doesn't. So, yeah, nothing there quite works. So, yeah, so this move now is not sente, which means I can do this kind of move into like even jump next. So, yeah. But I'll say this much, at least black is alive in the center. Hint, hint. Because this move forces me to jump, and then black does this, and just lets me cut. And I was very confused. That is a huge side black could have, or that black has given white for not much gain. Not much gain. If this wall was stronger, maybe, but even then, this is a ton of points. And it just goes to show you that, like, why didn't black just simply take points? Like, why pincer here? And then come back and defend the corner? Because you just gave white everything white wanted. And more. So, yeah, it felt a little unnecessary for black. And then, like, yeah, just giving it up. Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. Yeah, that's huge. That is huge. So, yeah, black got heavy and decided to give him up, and that's what happened. So black plays there. And then attach. So here, black is so strong now that nothing here really works. Even though black played a variation that in normal circumstances is considered pretty bad, in this case, it's okay because white has 0 eyes. And white's going to be running towards nothing. So I just end up haneing. So that means I should just hane. Because black will most likely always answer me in the upper right. So that's a lot of co-threats I just kind of threw away. So I should just hane directly. Play there. Yep, play like that. Double hane. Atari extend up. And then poke the shape. This is a very annoying move for black to fix. Black needs to fix somehow. So black chose this way, but this still leaves a cut here, of course. But I just wanted some aji, so I now come in. And it might feel a little deep, and it is, and it might be, but there is a lot of aji, right? I can come under the bottom. If black does something, quote-unquote, simple like this, I'm able to play moves like this, which threaten to cut here. So there's actually a lot of aji here, and black starts to get very weak in the upper left as well. So while it is deep, as long as you have aji you can look for, it doesn't matter how deep you are if there's weaknesses in your opponent's groups or shape. So black kicks to try to get sente, but then I play here. And here, this move felt a little slack, because again, what am I asking? I'm asking, okay, can I come into your area more and or can I connect my groups? But these two groups are way too far away. So believe it or not, the best kind of move here is this move, like this. Yeah, because if white does something like this, even you can cut next. And yeah, even though it's an empty triangle, in this case, it might be okay. But yeah, even here, if white does something like that, you can even like play this or do this kind of thing. Yeah, going there allows me to hane here. Now, black does something here that I was surprised about, but as I looked at it more, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And this comes back to kind of like how I played in the upper right. I just kind of played normal moves, quote unquote, that I know are bad. Like in the upper right, it's bad for black to do what black did, except in this case. because black is so strong, black can play differently. So just like this, I was like, okay, black has to go here because black letting me go along the top would be very bad for black, right? But if black blocks, I can then Atari here, and then I can do my jump I was talking about, and okay, I get perfect shape. But in the game, black goes here, which again, in normal circumstances, would not be good because I can Atari and extend like this. But in this case, because black is so strong, I just can't make two eyes up top. So in this case, it's good for black. So I was kind of assuming too much. I was assuming, one, black would play in ways that would help me, which of course, black's trying to win. So black's not going to do that. So after this, I was like, oh, well, before I do anything, I at least have a cut here now, which could help me later. So in the game, I cut here. And again, black has a choice here after this to simply give up these 3 stones, right? What if black seals in? I capture 3, and then this kind of thing. The problem with this is black's shape is on the outside is not great. Because remember, even if black gets the upper side, black has to compete with white's bottom, which is possible. But you can't give too many points to white. You can't give too many points to white. So because of this aji here, of this cut, it gets very nasty for black. So for example, if black connects like this, white hane, like this, white can, what, clamp like this next? Maybe not clamp. Yeah, there's just a lot of bad aji. Yeah, clamp, you would hope for black to go here, but of course, black can just, black can just descend like that. There might still be, there's still a lot of aji here actually, because this is sente. Black has to connect something like that, or maybe this one, and then maybe white can do this kind of thing, right? So again, there's a lot of variations here. There's a lot of variations here, and there's a lot of bad aji is the key as well. So yeah, black's shape is not, it's not great. Even if black has to play this kind of move, white's already gained a lot because there's still this cut that exists. So yeah, even if this happens, black has a lot of weakness in the shape, right? The peep here, it's just there's a lot of annoyances for black. So it's probably okay for black to connect this. Although I was feeling pretty happy with this cut. And here, this is when you don't, again, at least once in this game, I assumed my opponent would do what's is not good for me. Is if everything goes well, I can Atari here, black will extend, and let me connect here, and I can capture the upper left. Ooh, excuse me. But of course, that would be good for black, or good for white. So what else can black do? Black will block here, and probably net. And once again, you can see white's not alive up top. So I can't do that. So again, if I assume black does do that, then yeah, it works great, but black's not going to do what's good for white. So I have to just extend here, which is still okay for me. Black goes there. And then here, this is when things go a little crazy for white. Yeah, so black extends here. If I extend, this would be too much. This is what I want to do, but black is strong enough to play like this, and yeah, white's gonna get these 6 stones cut off. Yeah, so that's not good for white. But what I should do is just play some sort of maybe jump here, or even just jump here. Let black take here, but now I'm connected. And you'll see that becomes very important in this game, is I'm connected here. You'll see I get too greedy and I actually get cut off, which is very, very unfortunate. So hane, Hane is a tricky move because you'll see now I can connect. And if black tries to cut here, now I can push. And if black blocks, then can go here. But maybe it doesn't work as well as I think because black can actually take instead. And even if I connect like this, black can cut, but maybe this is still not great, right? Maybe, yeah, what is the best move here for black? Yeah, maybe this is still okay for white. Yeah. So black pushed and then connected. Yeah, I think black can at least cut by going here, right? Because this protects against that weakness. Right? Now I can't cut here, of course. So I think black can at least cut. Yeah, black can at least cut. Now, getting back to the game, black connects. And yeah, here I peep and black cuts. I think the peep's a nice idea, but yeah, I think now, once again, I should just connect. Black goes here. Because again, I have such a huge bottom that I don't need to play so, I'll say creatively. But you'll see what happens is peep, black cuts. And yeah, here actually black throws in, which is a nice idea. But you'll see, even though black's Ataring there, I Atari here. And now black has to take. And then even here I come in deeper. So me getting that Atari is me ripping out black's upper right. And this is great for white. This is great for white. But then I connect. So I think all I should do is maybe just like go here. Something like that. Because even if black takes there, again, I can reduce all this like that. That's huge. And black, this was black's areas anyway. And you can see black used kind of maximum amount of stones to capture these stones. So it's inefficient for black. So yeah, if this sort of thing happened, it's probably okay for white. But I was like, okay, those are cutting stones. I gotta save them. But black can cut. And then yeah, black takes. That's smart. And again, I don't need to do anything crazy here. Just connect. But I come up again saying, okay, black, you're not gonna let me connect, are you? And then black plays this one. And this was the move that I didn't see. So for example, if black, so what happens is black goes there, I connect there, and then black jumps here. So now I'm cut off in the center. If black doesn't do that exchange, white can play here, and maybe even just cut directly like this, and now you can see I'm threatening capturing those or capturing these three. But when black gets to play that move, now I don't get that kind of shortage of liberties on black, and now I'm cut off. Now, one thing I could do here is simply do this one and connect. Now what this means is black can go here, I connect, and then this kind of thing. And yeah, if this gets into a semi-eye, white's gonna lose any sort of semi-eye. Now white can of course cut first. So white can cut first, but black's gonna be able to live now. This kind of move is sente against that group. This kind of move is sente. So, oops, not there. Black's gonna be able to live here. If white tries the semi-eye, and again, it's hard to say what the best move to start this is. Maybe just like peep like this. Again, this kind of move, sente, connect. Yeah, this is, maybe in this case it's okay for white, but basically, maybe in the game I didn't see that I could cut next. But it was a hard read. Again, with the time settings being 30 minutes, and I've probably down to like, for me, I guess I was probably down to 15 minutes. Yeah, it's a pretty tricky read, and I didn't want to kind of deal with, if that makes sense. Again, it is me being lazy at the end of the day, which is one of my downfalls, is being a lazy Go player. But yeah, I needed to maybe do this because, again, I've saved the upper group. And again, even if I can do this, even if black can live, it's going to be Gote. And then I can get what I wanted up top. Right? Okay, black lives here, but now I save this. This is probably still... Black probably has his lead now, at least, but it's better than what could have happened in the game. Because in the game, I connect, black jumps. Now the upper side is cut off. And this is when I started panicking, if you will. I don't want to say panicking because, I wasn't hyperventilating or like freaking out, but I was like, oh man, I don't even have one eye in that upper group. Yeah, so that's why I didn't see the value in connecting here, because I was like, oh, I'm connecting here, of course, but there's no eyes there. So only thing I can do is connect. Black plays there to get rid of any eyes there. I wedge to hurt black's liberties, and then go here. Point of this move is to get myself an eye, and black could, at any point, play this kind of move in Sente. So like even like here. Black could have went here, and that's probably Sente, right? That gets rid of my eye, and yeah, maybe black didn't want to see this kind of move, but then even here, black can connect, and now this cut. What this cut is threatening is going here, but it's no problem in this sort of position. So I wedge, make my eye. Then black goes there. Yeah, that's where I could make my eye. Now, as it turns out, because of what happens in the game, this would have been a better way to get rid of white's eye. Of course, now this move is in Sente for white. So now there's no eye there. When black goes there, again, it just looks like a fine move, but yeah, let's just say that upper right dies. And I know you're probably all gasping now, but yeah, that upper right dies. So yeah, if black can just go here instead, now black's basically 100% alive. Now, one thing that happened in this game is black starts to get into time trouble. So as I was saying, I had maybe like 15 minutes left on this game. My opponent was probably in Byoyomi at this point. Again, 20 seconds is a little speedy. Especially if you're not used to it. So yeah. And again, especially for the weaker player, that's gonna cause problems. So peep. Black plays this one. This is a nice Teisuji, of course. Yeah. Basically preventing, instead of just connecting, which again is what I want. Black tries to refute it the best way. And then play there. This is the usual way you want to split. But of course, in this shape, black can just come on top. So going there, the idea for this move is if black does this sort of thing, I'm going to wedge this way. And if black cuts, I'm going to split like this. But even this sort of thing is just going to not work for white. Black can go there, threatening to connect, and then go here, and black's alive there. Again, if black's alive here, this group is dead. So I'm trying to cut that off. Again, maybe because of time pressure, black was scared and played this one. So I split. Again, knight's moves are a little trickier as opposed to just blocking. So if you ever need to create confusion, play knight's moves. Play knight's moves. No, but honestly, the point of this move is if I want to block here, but if black hanes, then I play here. So instead of doing all those moves, just play this move directly. So black pushes. Not a good exchange, but it's probably okay. And then descend, that's what black wants. So that's why black pushed first. Goblin's nose. And then black goes there. Yeah, black's saying, okay, as long as I'm alive, I'm okay. So I play there. And then, yeah, this move was not necessary. This move was not necessary. Even if black does anything else, maybe go here. And white can probably save this stone, but that's okay. White can go there. White can Atari. But then black can just Atari like this and live on the left side. Again, if black's alive on the left side, the upper side is dead. But black spent another move to live. Again, maybe some time pressure. So I was like, okay, well, I gotta do something. So I block. Again, this move, not sente. If black, again, goes anywhere else, there's not enough space here to make an eye. Now, you gotta be careful. You don't want to do this one, right? Because then white starts to make some eye shape. And you know I'm playing this ko. You know I'm playing this ko. If black just goes down, now you can see there's some aji on the other side, which starts to affect the life and death over here, right? This sort of thing. This sort of thing like this, right? So this would be dangerous for black. But black can simply just make the empty triangle and then come down. And now white doesn't have an eye there. So, yeah, but black descends. Okay, so now I've cut off the upper right, at least. So now I play here again. Nothing here really works, but I gotta try something. Because if I just die here, one, I would be so upset with myself. Because it was so unnecessary to die here. But two, I was feeling confident in the game. So it was not just me dying, it's me kind of throwing away the game, if you will. So, yeah, but black goes there. That's okay for now. But then this is the move. Again, black's probably in the last Byo-Yomi now. And so I'm able to descend. Black cuts. And then we get this ko. And the nice thing when you have a lot of dead stones is you have a lot of ko threats. So push here. Yeah, ko threat. Because even if black can cut off the tail, I've still gained a lot from this, right? Because I've actually gained some on the left side if I'm going to play there first. So black blocks. Black plays there. Yeah, it's a ko threat. Play there. And then black goes here. So yeah, black had more ko threats. Black had more ko threats still. So for example, this kind of move is a ko threat, right? Threaten to cut white off. I'm going to answer that. So black had a lot of ko threats still, or at least one more. Because after this, like, let's count ko threats, right? White, not there. Black goes there, that's one. Like, white does have some still here, right? Go here. One. Let's see. Is this kind of move a ko threat? Let's see. Maybe... Yeah, maybe this kind of move, that's a ko threat. White can't take, or what? I guess white can take, but then white gets cut off like this. If white cuts, take. White has one more threat here, like this. But then black has, let's see. And order of ko threats does matter here too. But black has moves kind of like, what, this one? Yeah, maybe that one. Again, maybe you don't do this wedge first. You do this one first. Black has a lot of ko threats still, I think. So I don't think black needed to just kind of give up on the ko. Yeah, like black goes here first. All right, white takes. Because the thing is, white actually can't connect underneath. Although actually, yeah, this is very complicated. Because there's like this. If you do this one, yeah, actually this is okay-ish, I think. But maybe this one will end in black dying anyways. But basically, it feels like there's a lot of ko threats. So I showed this one, but maybe even just attaching is better. So now your ko threats instead are cutting, which creates a lot more ko threats. So basically, black needed to win this ko, and I think black could have. But all black took was the side he already owned on the left. And I can even play this one. Now this one looks like I just get cut off, but by sacrificing the two stones, I'm able to take the corner. And then looking back to the upper right, I can descend, and this is a common Tesuji, or not Tesuji, Sumego, where even though black can descend, when I hane, black can't block. And we actually saw this kind of shape early on in a variation in the upper left. So yeah, now in this case, it is still a ko technically, right, with this kind of thing. But that's good enough for white. I'll take a ko to kill a corner. Play that. And then descend. Yeah, descend's big. Black could have done that first, probably. Yeah, this kind of thing is huge. And then cut here. That's why I took it. And then black does this final ditch effort. And it's close. Yeah, this one you got to be careful about. You got to be careful about this one because if you just save here, this kind of squeeze not only would let black save the stones, but also create some very bad Aji on the other side. Yeah, this would be very bad. This might not let black win the game because again, the upper right is now hanging, but this would definitely help black a lot. But this move does help white a lot because it threatens to cut here. So this is where black's fancy move early on actually comes back to bite black. So that's where no matter how good or bad a move is, there's always pros and cons to moves. So if black had connected solidly here, now I don't get that follow-up. But because black played the fancy attachment, now I do get a follow-up here. So, yep, but black attaches. And so black tries things here, but nothing really works. Black cuts. Cut there. Yep, I don't want to get squeezed, so I cut. Black kicks. Descend. Even descend again. Just make sure I'm alive in the lower left. And black tries here, but nothing, again, really works. Atari once, and then go here. So actually, this was the longest time I spent on a move here. It's because I was reading what happens when black goes here. Like this. So the reason why I spent so long on this is if I do something like this, well, black can actually play like this and poke out that eye, but I guess it really, with this turn here, it doesn't really help much, right? Like this. And even when black takes away liberties, then I can come back and throw in here. Yeah, I can throw in there. Although I guess black can Atari once to prevent that, right? Now I don't get the throw in, but even this, yeah, I guess even this would be okay for black because this move would now become sente, and then black could go here. And also the point of this cut, by the way, is now this throw in. Now I cannot play here. Now I cannot play there. Although I guess what that means, and this is why this kind of position is so cool, is white can play this one instead. White can play this one, and that actually does fix that weakness. So, yeah. So there's some crazy variations here. So if I do this one, again, there's a variation here where I have to worry about this move. Because again, I'm forced to go here. But now when black turns here, I have some problems. Because I can't cut. If I hane, or block I mean, and connect like this, or even, sorry, just do this one directly, you'll see that if I cut and black connects here, this would be a connect and die for me, right? I could go here, but I actually run out of liberties first, right? Black could actually come back and take. But if I take here, then black can capture here. But thankfully, all I need to do is do this one. And now it's mi, right? If black fills, then I can Atari. So that's okay. So I think I end up just going elsewhere because I read, oh yeah, there's not an eye there, thankfully. But even like this one, black doesn't do that. And then does this, and this is just black starts to collapse. But yeah, black definitely had a real chance in this game. And again, when we usually play at 6 or 7 stones, him playing this well at 5 stones is actually very good. He played very well this game. Obviously, there were still mistakes, but I definitely made a lot more mistakes, I think. But yeah, it was just, one, obviously, how black handled the upper side, but 2, black just didn't need to die in the first 60 moves in the lower left. It was just, or in the lower side, it was just unnecessary. But yeah, after 2 rounds, I'm 2-0. And after this game, not feeling as good as I was after the first game, but, you know, it's still a long day. Still a long day of go. So, yeah. If you have any questions about this game, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see everyone in the next video.